So hello and welcome to the Agile Hive review for the month of July in 2025. Welcome. The next review, as usual, is on the 29th of July, so 2 times this month. That's due to our 4-week rhythm. And in the following, I will present to you what the team achieved in the last 4 weeks. First, the note, but you already saw that when you entered this meeting. This meeting is recorded so that we can put it on YouTube later for everybody to rewatch or share it with their colleagues. So if you don't want to appear on the video feed, in case you want to ask a question or say something or discuss something with us, make sure that your camera is turned off. If you want to stay anonymous or not be visible in the video. All right. Today's review is rather short because we only have 4 topics to discuss. The first issue, the first improvement that the team was working on in the last 4 weeks will be released shortly with the release of the 4.4.0 release of the Agile Hive suite. And it concerns the team burn-up chart. Previously, the team burn-up chart only used issues that were within the assigned sprints of the respective PI. And with the addition of the issues without sprint box in the team report, we decided that we also want to include these issues in the team burn-up chart, because then the overall story point numbers will match with those being visible in the rest of the report. Another improvement made to the issues without sprint box, we decided that we do not want to display risks or objectives there. As you know, you have to assign a PI to objectives, and also you can assign them to risks in order for them to be displayed on the report. And you do not have to plan them into sprints. So when you just assign a PI to them, they will now show up in the issues without iteration box. But that is primarily being used or there to show you the story points, so the planned story points that your team will be working on and might have forgotten to put into sprints. And if you would do that and plan all your stories and all your enablers into your sprints, you would still see the objectives, and thus you would still see the box there. And so we decided to not display those issue types in the issue without sprint box. I made 2 tests here. I put a risk. I put a risk in my board, and I also added a PI to it, also an objective. And they are not shown anymore in the issues without sprint box. This is likely going to be released in the the release after that, because I just prepared the 4.4.0 release, but in the release after that. Chrome is acting up again. Okay. You see that too, right? Okay. So now, the second improvement, or the third improvement, is also going to be released with the 4.5.0 release. This concerns the manage dependency icon or manage dependency ability on the team breakout board and also on the roadmap. When you hover over an issue in the team breakout board or the roadmap, you will see 3 symbols here: the pencil, the X, and you would normally see the chain icon for the manage dependencies. We removed the manage dependencies capability if the user that is currently viewing the board does not have the link issues permission in that board. We forgot that previously, so we removed the functionality for users that don't have the right permissions to do that. And last but not least, as you might know, we have the warning icon for dependencies outside of the PI on our team record board and also on our arc planning board. And this wrongly showed the warning icon when an external dependency, so an issue from another art, was shown on the current board, but had a due date that would let it finish within the shown PI range, but it would still show a warning icon wrongly. And we fixed that issue. So now there's no warning icon anymore when the external dependency is going to finish within the same PI. This only occurred when the external dependency was a feature or an enabler from another art and had a, let's say in quotation marks, last sprint calculated. So when it would appear on the art planning board in the last sprint that the teams working on would be working on this issue. So yeah, but this this should no longer be the case, and also this will be released in the 4.5.0 version of Agile Hive. So yeah, this is the first review in our newest PI. So as usual, I'm going to quickly talk over the points or the issues that we are going to address in the current PI, which started at start of June and will go to the roughly until the end of September. And Chrome is acting up again. Thank you. Yeah. No, sorry for that. It does that, and I don't really know why. Yeah, sorry. Sorry. Force helps. Okay. First, we are going to address an issue that we took over or that spilled over from the last PI. We wanted to show external dependencies from other arts, there I am again, by their last sprint. So we want to remove the need to set a due date for these issues and show them by the calculated last sprint, in that they would also be shown on their respective PI or art planning board, sorry. And so this information should also be used on other art planning boards when shown this issue as an external dependency. We already started working on this. Yes, oh, I made a mistake. I highlighted it green. That is, yeah. Sorry, should be blue. This is true for the others as well. Second issue we worked on, or we are working on currently, Atlassian made it a requirement for app vendors to sign their apps in the future, especially if you want to provide customers individual releases, for example, as a snapshot build for support issues, for troubleshooting issues. Customers will have to trust the provider of the bundle. And for that, you have to establish a trust store. So that customers can verify that the app is actually from the vendor of the app and not from some third-party person with maybe malicious intents. The next thing, or quite a bigger feature, is we want to give you the possibility to assign sprints to iterations manually. As you know, previously, you could change iterations, or you could change the sprint to iteration connection, but it was a bit of a hassle because you had to use the database for that, actually. And now we want to provide an easier way of doing that by giving the admins or project admins of the team projects the possibility to select a PI and then select which sprint should be connected to each iteration in their team. Moving on, we want to improve the logging within our app, because we seen recently that several crucial parts miss logging output. They have not sufficient logging output to provide real value for us. So we want to take the time and improve that throughout the application so that we can provide better support to you in the future. Yeah. Also, we want to harden or simplify our build pipeline because with Jira 9, 10, and upcoming 11 support, we want to split up our individual build processes and not have one big process that builds all the different artifacts for each major version of Jira to make it more easily maintainable. So, having that said, also within this PI, we want to prepare for Jira 11, the upcoming major release of Jira. It is scheduled for Q3 or early Q4, I think. And yeah, as Jira 10, it might have some breaking changes that require a bit more work before we can actually release Agile Hive for Jira 11. And last but not least, we want to move our documentation to Confluence Cloud Platform in the future, and we already started on that. So in the future, maybe the links to our documentation will change, but we will announce that also through our marketing, I think. So yeah, you will hear about that. That concludes our review for today. Do you have any questions for us that we might be able to answer? Oh yes, I see. There's already questions in the chat. Let me read. Yeah, you wrote, regarding the assigning sprints to iteration manually. I'm supporting the users usually, and they, from time to time, have this problem regarding the incorrect sprint assignment. I shifted iteration, assignment / shifted iteration or so on. I highly praise this update. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So not an actual question. Cool. I thank you all for participating in today's review. We will see each other again, hopefully, on the 29th of July, as I said previously. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the sunny weather, at least those of you who are in Germany or the nearer region, because I don't know the weather in other parts. Yeah, and have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye.